What's good, guys? Jason Sawyer bringing another episode of the DetermiNATION vlog to you today. Today's topic is a finance topic. We're going to talk about what determines the interest rate on vehicle loans. I'm going to teach you some cheat codes to get your interest rate on the next vehicle as low as possible. There are 4 things that determine what your interest rate is. And the first one is the asset or the vehicle that you're looking to buy. Number 2 is your income. Number 3 is the dealership that you're buying from. And number 4, and of course the most important, is your credit rating. So let's dive a little bit deeper into each one of those subjects. The first thing on that list that determines the loan interest rate that you're going to get is the asset, the vehicle in your deal structure. So depending on whether or not the vehicle is new or used, the interest rates can vary greatly, and some lenders won't even do loans for one or the other. The interest rate that is offered to you is typically based off of certain guidelines that each individual lender has, and some lenders have better interest rates available for certain types of vehicles. Likewise, a lot of interest rates are based off of the amount that you're financing compared to the value of the asset in your loan, basically. So some lenders will actually offer a lower interest rate if you're actually financing a lower amount than the vehicle is valued at. Something to keep in mind the next time you go buy a vehicle. Edmonton's really stepping up its game for attractions. You see, this is one thing that they've been building for a while. There's even parking over here, which is awesome, and handicap parking for people who need access immediately to this, whatever this is. Well, I know what I think it looks like, but let me know what you think it looks like in the comments below. So you can see that they put a lot of time and money into making this look beautiful. There's even like some flowers over here, and you got stones with writing on them. Really expanding this out. Should be interesting to see what it looks like once it's all done. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a cool place to hang out. It should be interesting to see, you know, how popular this place ends up being when they finish building it. There's a lot of different sources of income. You know, there's regular employment, there's seasonal employment, you can be self-employed, you could be receiving stuff like child support, disability, stuff like that. There are 1,000 different types of sources of income. Rental income is another one. Every single lender has different requirements for how long typically they'll expect you to be drawing those types of income before they'll let you use it on an automotive loan, unless of course it's certain things that are court ordered for long periods of time. What that means to you basically is that depending on the types of income that you have, if you're looking for a lower interest loan, you may not be able to get one because of the types of income that you're drawing. People who are self-employed for long periods of time or are employed by an employer for long periods of time in an industry that's stable typically are offered the best possible interest rates in the automotive industry. Keep that in mind when you're looking for jobs too, because you know sometimes those seasonal jobs, like especially in oil and gas, may seem great, but if your credit is no good right now, well, unfortunately, first of all, you're going to have a hard time improving your income. Second of all, they're going to look at you a lot more closely because you're in a more volatile industry. A lot of smaller, newer lenders will actually only deal with the independent dealerships because getting in with the franchise dealerships can be very, very difficult. So you'll often find that there are some better options for interest rates on used vehicles at independent dealerships. They often have stuff that's much older, or that you know, the big dealerships, like the franchise dealerships, just couldn't store because of space constraints. A lot of independent dealers also do something called you find, we finance. So you know someone who wants to sell a vehicle, but you can't give all the money right away. They'll finance it for you through their programs. So the biggest thing that differentiates those independent dealerships from the big dealerships, the franchise dealerships like the Acura one behind me, for instance, is rebates. Now, it's something that typically gets kicked back mostly from the manufacturers for the franchisee for a variety of different things. First-time buyers is one of the biggest ones. There's some for veterans, and the one that you really want to take advantage of the most is the cash rebate. Typically, the longer a vehicle is on the lot, the higher that cash rebate goes. That's only on new vehicles, though. Now, that cash rebate actually has another use too, which I'm going to get to in just a moment here. The best cheat code out there really is the 0% financing thing. The way that they make that work basically is what they're doing is giving a cash rebate to the lender because the lender is giving them cash. So a lot of times what the franchise dealerships will do is actually offer that cash rebate towards your purchase if you go through their in-house financing program. Remember that next time you go buy a vehicle at 0%, you can often save a lot of money that way. And finally, your credit history. It's super important to keep your credit history clean and good. Canada has two different reporting bureaus that lenders use. There's Equifax and TransUnion. Equifax is the one that most lenders use first, and of course they will use TransUnion if they have to. But something to keep in mind with your trade lines and your credit, especially with automotive loans, is you want to keep in good standing with whoever you do get an automotive loan from, because they almost all have some sort of loyalty program to get you back to using the same lender again with a better rate as long as you stay in good standing with them. So Equifax actually has the ability to give you your credit report for free. Just go to the website and they can actually mail it to you. They also have a monthly service that you can pay for that has more features, including identity theft protection. So I actually have this myself. I'd highly recommend you get it if you don't already have it. The other agency is called TransUnion. With them, it goes up to about as high as $850, but really to get the top interest rates you just need to be over $700. They also have a monthly subscription service for them to tell you what your credit score is. However, as far as I'm aware at this point, there is no free option for them to send that to you, so you do have to pay for it. Most lenders don't really use TransUnion because it doesn't actually report the account numbers, which can be really important for proof should there be something on there that that's not the way it's supposed to be. Now, if you do have issues with either of these two, you can actually mail them to get it changed, but you do have to have proof. Before you go in to get an automobile loan, do yourself a favor and check at least Equifax to make sure everything's correct, so that you're getting the best possible interest rate you can. So that concludes the video. Thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications. Love you guys. Take care.